Hello all, we are the TLA team. My name's Mel.
And I'm Jamie.
And we are here this week with our top tips for online learning. We have 7 tips. Take it away, Jamie.
Tip 1, check your device settings. Now we can't possibly know where each of your individual device settings are, so it's important you familiarise yourself with your computer and the audio settings in your computer itself, as well as finding the audio settings within Microsoft Teams or any platform that you're using to deliver from. So the first thing is locating your audio settings. Look out for something like a speaker or a microphone. You can see here I've got my audio setting here for the output. The output means the sound coming out. I also can click up and see the speakers I'm using to play back from. My playback device currently is an external device, which means outside of the computer, but I can also have the playback device, the output, the audio coming out. I could have that set as my speakers in my computer as well. So your output is the sound coming out, the sound you're hearing. The input is the sound going into the computer, so something like a microphone. So when you have your online lessons, you'll have your microphone set up, your headphones set up, microphone input, headphones output. Just try and remember that. When I check my settings in Teams, before any meeting I'll have, I go to my initials, go to settings, go to devices, and you'll see me down here. That's my camera working, which is great. I've also got my audio devices here, my microphone and my speakers, my input and my output, and I know that's all working. I always make a test call before my meeting or lesson starts by clicking this button here, make a test call. I can hear the quality's fine. I can hear that the people in my meeting or my class will be able to hear me, and also that it's nice and clear. Also my camera's working as well, the output's working, I'll be able to hear them. And then you get a summary of everything that's working within Teams. You see there's green ticks all along here for my microphone, my input, my speaker, my output, my camera, and also my network, so my internet or my Wi-Fi, okay? And that's it. And if you want to check it again, you just go either to device settings again or back to your initials, settings, devices, and you can check it there. Make a test call if you want as well. Anyway, tip 1, check your device settings.
Tip 2, be prompt. Being prompt to your lessons has always been important as a teacher, but online learning this is even more so. It's really important that you're the one that starts the lesson, so that you are there to meet and greet the learners. So we recommend that you start the meeting about 5 to 10 minutes before the lesson is due to begin. That way you can check that everything's working, you can get your PowerPoint or Nearpod up and running, and you are there to greet your learners.
Tip 3, use visual descriptions. Now, your students might not be able to see your face when you're teaching online. You might not be able to see theirs, and all they're getting from you is just your voice. So you need to make sure you're being really direct and explaining exactly where something is. For example, in your team sites, if you want them to access files, they might not have accessed this whole team site before. They might have ever used Microsoft Teams. So you want to say to them and be really clear as to where that files tab is. So I'd say, move to the top of your team where you see the word general in bold next to the shoe logo. Move along and click on the word files next to posts. And then you're giving them a real detailed description of where you want them to locate that file.
Tip 4, pace. In online lessons, you need to take the pace a little bit slower. You need to give the learners time to follow the instructions, find the thing that you're directing them to, and also take into account things like delay. There might be a delay between you saying something and your screen changing, so do make sure that you're not moving ahead too fast or you're talking about something that hasn't shared yet. And also allow time for learners. They might have delays due to technical issues their end, so it might take them a little bit longer to mute their mic, share their screen. So just thinking about the pace and taking it a little bit slower to give the learners time.
Tip 5, 15 minutes maximum input at the start of your lesson. If your lesson's 2 hours long, you don't want learners to sit there for 2 hours listening to you talk, because let's face it, it's boring. You don't want to sit somewhere for 2 hours with someone talking at you, so why would your learners? So make sure you do the 15 minutes input outlining the topic they're going to study, where the work is that you want them to access on your online learning platform, and then let them get on with it. And then you can meet at certain points on your online learning platform, whatever it may be, to discuss what they've learned so far, to recall and recap, and also you can drop in and look at what they're doing, maybe in group work or breakout rooms as well. All of these kind of activities you can set up so you can just sit back, let the learning take place, and then you can reevaluate, recall and recap at the end of your lesson.
Tip 6, have a backup plan. This is important in teaching always, to have a plan just in case things let you down. And with online teaching, we know that there can be technical issues. It can be issues with your broadband or the learner's broadband, or it can be issues with the platform or the device that you're using. So having a clear backup plan that is communicated with the learners is really important. It could be putting materials on your VLE for the learners. So for example, we use Moodle, and having some materials on Moodle that the learners need to go to. Maybe posting a notice on the team that you're using to say to the learners, if you drop out, you can find the resources here or watch the video afterwards. And also making it clear that there's a plan if you're not there to meet them. It might be that you're having technical issues and they know that if you're not there in the first 5 minutes, that they need to go to Moodle and complete some exercises. You can complete asynchronous exercises, so that's setting perhaps self-directed Nearpods, quizzes that they can do in their own time or as homework, and other ways to track what they're doing. So having a backup plan is really important.
Tip 7, and one of my favourites, is be brave. The joy of teaching is sometimes when you take a risk, and you'll notice it with your students. There are thousands of online learning tools out there that you can use to enhance your lesson, but a lot of people shy away from it because they're scared of using it for the first time. Be brave. Take that risk, because the only way you're going to learn how to use it and see if it works is by trying it out. Make your learners aware you're going to try something new in that lesson, because I can guarantee you they'll be just as excited and nervous as you are. That was tip 7, be brave.
And that's all from us this week. I hope you've enjoyed our top tips for online learning. We're next going to be sharing our top tips for mirrored learning, so keep an eye out on our Instagram and YouTube for those. Thank you.